back to Peachy's World. Thank you so much for joining me for my 7-month sleeversary. I'm sorry the video is a little bit late, but we're going to go ahead and talk about before and still. So as you can tell from the title of this and my post that I did on Instagram the other day, this has not been the best month for weight loss. I have encountered a bit of a weight loss stall. And that's kind of being really generous with that statement. I'm not even going to post my numbers for this month because they're exactly the same as they were last month. So if you didn't catch that, go check out the 6-month sleeversary. The numbers are still the same. I'm still at 206 and haven't budged, which has been pretty deflating for the month. As much as I'm trying to stay positive, as well as going through some, stressors that I have going on, including losing my hair. I am losing a ton of hair. So basically the only thing that I can say that I've lost this month is more hair. No weight, which is unfortunate. Now I always knew that I was going to be losing a large amount of hair because that's kind of like a long-term side effect of the surgery. I knew it was coming. I just didn't know it was going to be this bad. It's to the point where I am considering maybe cutting my hair because I have quite a bit of length, but I've got hardly anything left. It looks different now because it's all pinned up, but it's not good, guys. It's not good at all. So this month, like I said, has been frustrating, and it's put me in a situation where I really need to take a step back and track habits and really just look at a bigger picture and say, okay, is there something that I could be doing more of? Is there something that could be affecting this? Is this just a normal weight loss stall that is inevitable in anybody's weight loss journey because your body does need time to adjust? Especially after rapid weight loss and a significant amount of weight loss. Your body does need time to kind of say, okay, I need to get used to my new me before we continue on. But it's caused me to take a step back and say, okay, what's not going great? What could be affecting this? What are the factors here and what can I do about it? So I made some notes about some things that I think are affecting it. But I do have an appointment with my doctor on the 9th that I'm going to run by a bunch of things with and just check in with him on a 6-month basis. Even though it's been 7 months, it's been kind of hard to get an appointment with him. And just kind of say, hey, is this normal? Should I be doing something different? Am I doing something wrong? Or is this just me kind of freaking out because I didn't lose any weight this month? So we'll see what he has to say. I definitely want to do a video after that appointment to let you know how the appointment went and what he recommended. But let's go through some of the things that I've kind of tracked throughout the month that I think are affecting progression this month. One thing that I noticed right away is that my sleep hasn't been very good. Insomnia has kind of creeped back up a little bit. And I think it has to do with the next thing on the list, but we'll get to that here in a minute. My sleep hasn't been very good. There's days when I can get a fair amount of sleep, but most days I'm running on like 4 to 6 hours, which, isn't too terrible. Well, 4 hours isn't very good. 6 hours isn't too terrible. It's not the best. But I'm certainly not getting enough sleep. And I know that that's important for overall health and especially weight loss. You need your body to rest. But I don't think my sleep is going good right now. So I'm trying to evaluate, is there anything that I can do in my nightly routine to kind of combat that? Is there maybe something homeopathic or natural I could try, like maybe pulling out my essential oils, aromatherapy, using that more often, maybe not being kind of attached to electronics, either on my phone or watching TV, prayer and meditation, things of that nature to kind of help me with the whole sleep situation. Because like I said, I know that that's essential and it's not very good right now. The next thing on the list is stress. Stress can do horrible things to your body, and it's certainly not conducive to weight loss. And this month has been kind of a doozy when it comes to stress. Not so much in work, just on a personal level. It's just been a little stressful. I find myself kind of freaking out about things that I want to accomplish or things that I want to do, or, maybe a relationship with others. It's been kind of a whirlwind of a month for emotions. And I think a lot of it, to be quite honest, is really just internal. It's not really outside factors. Like, I'm not struggling in a relationship or a friendship, or I think there's just a lot of internal stuff going on. Maybe I'm putting a lot of pressure on myself to get things done, especially in the house, or get things done just in life. And I think I'm just putting a lot of pressure and anxiety on myself. And it's causing stress rather than, I don't know, let me see if I can break it down. Okay, so we moved into a house, we got a lot of house projects. So rather than, making giant list of the 80,000 things that we got to try and get done, maybe I need to just focus on one little area at a time and figure out what I need to do for that particular area. I know that's kind of scatterballed, but, I think I'm just letting stress and anxiety kind of creep in more than it should, which I think is affecting my sleep. So I think between those two things, it hasn't been good this month. And it's sad because if I really take a step back, me and my husband are so thankful to be in our own house, to be able to say that we own a house, to be able to have the means to work on our house. These are all good things or good blessings in our lives. And I'm I don't know why I'm freaking out about these things. And I think it's just a lot to kind of soak in and a lot to break down and figure out your plan of action. And I think that I'm letting that consume me rather than enjoy the journey of it, because I tend to be impatient with getting things done, because I love working really hard to get to that result and then seeing the end result. So anyway, I think I'm just putting a lot of pressure on myself, and it's causing stress. So I'm going to take some steps back and then figure out how to lessen that so I'm not putting a lot of pressure on myself. One other thing I noticed, and it seems to be an ongoing theme, is hydration. I am struggling to get my water in, and it's really one of those weird things because water is probably one of my favorite drinks on the planet. It always has been. I love water. And I used to be able to drink so much water before my surgery, but now, you can't take in that much liquid at once. So I'm trying a new trick over the past few days that seems to be helping. And that is, I'll do certain things either at work or, at home. And once I'm done with those few things, I tell myself I need to go drink some water. And I always carry my water bottle with me that I got from the hospital. I love it because it has a little measuring on it, so that I can track my water better. Because I've noticed most of November, I'll drink my decaf coffee or some decaf tea. And even though that's getting liquid in, I'm not really getting my water in. And it's just something that you could just kind of forget about. I know that's weird, but you just kind of forget about it because you're going about your day and you're just not getting the water in. And if you're not hydrated, your body is not working at the optimal level, which can cause a stall. So I've heard from a lot of, groups that I'm a part of that if you really push hydration and you focus on that for a goal, you'd be surprised in a week or so that you'll break your weight loss stall. So I just started really, really focusing on the hydration portion. So I'm going to see if that helps with breaking the stall. Now getting into reevaluating my intake. I do know that in November, I did start to incorporate a little bit, and I mean a little bit, of carbs into my diet because I was having some issues with my sugars kind of getting a little bit low where it was uncomfortable. And after going for so long with not having very many carbs, and with instructions from my surgeon that it's okay to add some carbs in, I've started to incorporate just a very little bit in. But I think that my body is kind of like reacting to that different. Like, yes, it's stabilizing my blood sugars where I'm not crashing anymore, but I'm not losing weight anymore. So that's something I want to talk to him about. Like, should I be maybe trying different carbs? Should I be trying a different amount? Am I getting too much? Am I not getting enough? So something I want to discuss with them and say, hey, is this hurting me? Is this helping me? Like, what do I do? Is this what's causing my stall, or do you think it could be something else? So along the lines with, what I've been combating health-wise, I have been dealing with really, really horrible acid reflux. Like, you can even hear it affecting my voice. Like, to the point where I'm waking up because I'm choking on acid and it gets into my lungs, which hurts. And then I cough and it's like you're coughing fire. It's terrible. I've always had acid reflux. I actually have a wedge that I sleep on to keep me elevated at night. I don't take Protonics anymore because it was causing dizzy spells. My doctor may put me back on it, which I'm not super thrilled about, but it's like, well, do you deal with the dizziness or do you deal with acid reflux? So now I'm just taking some over-the-counter stuff to help with it. And there are a couple of trigger foods that I noticed that will hurt my acid reflux more. So I'm trying to stay away from them. One thing that I know helps me when I'm having a really bad acid reflux attack is almond milk. I love almond milk, but I'm wondering if incorporating that, even though I don't buy like the super sugary one, I'm wondering if that's contributing to not losing weight too. So something I want to run by my doctor. So like I said, I'm kind of reevaluating, looking at all the habits over the past month and saying, is that affecting it? Is that what's causing this stall? And the last thing is, on top of the bazillion things that I've got going on that are contributing to my own stress and not sleeping and getting all these things done, is that yes, I'm doing things around the house, and yes, that is exercise in a way. I'm not walking as much, and I'm not exercising as much. Now, part of that has to do with what I mentioned with the stress and everything that's going on. A lot of it has to do with my shoulder being injured, which I still don't know what's going on with that. That's pretty concerning. So I took a step back around, Black Friday and Cyber Monday sales that were going on and say, what is going to be something that I can try exercise equipment wise that might help me. So me and my husband found a really good deal on a piece of equipment that I've been eyeing for a while. And I'm excited to set that up and try it because with it being colder outside, it is harder for me to walk right now. So, maybe this will give me something to do within the house that is strictly just focusing on exercising. And we were able to find some of our other exercise equipment. So now I have like an area in my office that I can set up where I can focus on exercising and not worrying about having to bundle up and go and try and walk outside. Which I love walking, but we're just getting into a season right now where it's a little tough. So I still want to go on nicer days, but if it's snowing, I'm not going to put on my like snow boots and like go trucking around the block. I will find something else. And the reason for that, I know you're like, well, just wear a jacket or something. Well, with my thyroid issue, I have a hard time regulating my body temperature, which is why you always see me in sweaters. I'm always cold. There's always a space heater going because I can't regulate my body temperature. And if I get too cold, I actually start getting really bad shivering spells, and it causes my blood sugar to drop. I know that sounds weird, but it's happened enough for me to know that being too cold is a trigger for me. So I have to be careful with either getting too cold or too overheated. And I do know that right now with the temperatures, falling where I'm at, I have to try and walk on the nice days and, find an alternative when it's really cold or snowy out, which I'm perfectly fine with. I can adjust. It's just putting aside the other drama, with the stress and sleep and stuff, and allocating time for myself Because I feel like right now everything is pulling me in another direction and I'm forgetting about me. And again, that's something internal. Nobody is making me feel that way. It's just something I'm kind of noticing about myself. I'm putting everything above some of the goals I've set for myself, and I need to step back and allocate some time for me. I also want to state that, you know, this is a long-term goal. So this isn't like, I think I worded it the other day, it's a marathon, it's not a sprint. Because this is not like, you know, 9 months from now I'm going to hit my goal weight and be like, woohoo, I'm done. No, this is a lifelong change. This is a marathon. And with marathons, sometimes there's, you know, a point where you're not making super great progress, and you just have to be able to adjust to it, understand it, and, you know, take a step back and focus mentally too on being positive that, you know, stalls can be a good thing. Your body's adjusting. I've lost almost 90 pounds and the body's got to adjust. You know, and I have to be patient with that and do my due diligence to make sure that I'm doing everything that I can, both physically and mentally, to not screw that up. So, like I said, maybe not the most positive happy 7-month sleeversary, because I'm being honest with you guys, I am bummed that there's no progress. I'm not crying emotional, I'm bummed about it, but it also gives me a chance to take a step back and say, okay, what happened this month? What's going on this month that can be affecting these things? What can I do to do better this month or for next month? What can I change? What can I look at and evaluate? So that's what I'm doing. So I thought I'd come on and share. Like I said, no fun statistics to throw up on the screen, or, you know, before and still shots, as I used to call them, that unfortunately become a reality at the moment. Because it's all the same. My weight's at 206. I mean, thank goodness I have not gained weight, because that would probably have made me cry. But being stuck where you're at is kind of like frustrating. So yeah, here we are. So thank you guys so much for being a part of my journey. I know I've said it in other videos, but I do appreciate that support. I definitely want to do another video, like I said, after my appointment with my doctor on the 9th, just to run by everything that I'm kind of dealing with and then see what they recommend. But I know in all my sleeversary videos, I do always state what my goal is, and my goal for next month remains the same, which I want to be under 200 by the beginning of the new year. So by the end of December, I want to be under 200. That can be 199.9. I'll take it, but I just want to see that 2 disappear. So remember to like, subscribe, hit the bell for notification. Thank you guys so much for being a part of this journey with me, and I look forward to updating you guys soon. Thanks.